Alright, movie lovers, it's that time of the week again. Yes, and Bob here, that's me, tells you all about the movies I watched this week. Yeah. So let's get started here. I know there's so many people waiting for this. They've been waiting for it. Every week they wait for it. They can't wait until I get on here and start talking about the movies I watched. So let's get started. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I watched a movie that was on TCM here, of course, in Toronto. It was called The White Cliffs of Dover, 1944, starring Irene Dunne and Ellen Marshall. It's taken from a poem, the poem, White Cliffs of Dover. Yes, they made a story out of it. Very good story, very interesting story. Yes. So, in the First World War, there's a young lady taking a trip to England. She meets a young gentleman on the ship, on board ship. She falls in love with this gentleman, gets married. Of course, the war starts. He's off to war. Yes. And does he come back? No, I'm sorry to tell you, no, he dies. He gets killed in the war. Sad. But that happened a lot back then in those days. So we move forward, of course. She does have a little baby out of it, right? Little guy, right? Cute little guy. Time marches on. We get up to the Second World War. Of course, her son joins up the army too. Gets in the same division as his dad. And she's a nurse. She's looking after the soldiers. Now, it's never explained how or why or where or whatever happened, but how she gets to be a nurse, I don't really know. So I guess that part's not supposed to bother you unless I had a nap and I missed that part. But she's a nurse. And there was a big battle and the soldiers are coming in. She's not sure if her son's coming in with the soldiers or not. She waits. Of course, it is her son. He is among the people that were shot, damaged and stuff like that. So anyway, can't spoil it for you. I thought it was a very well done movie other than the part about the nurse, but I don't know, sometimes I nitpick and sometimes, but you know what I mean? Some things at times, things like that bother you. How the hell did she become a nurse? But I don't know, did I have a nap when I watched this movie? I'm not sure. Anybody explain the nurse part to me? Let me know. Okay, so I gave that movie a nice 7. Very nice 7. Very enjoyable movie. Irene Dunne does a lovely job. That's about it for that movie. Next! I watched a movie on Crave TV here. Crave TV, the movie channel we have here in Toronto. It's called X-Men Dark Phoenix. Sophia Tucker, she's Jean Grey. And Jean Grey in this movie gets a lot of powers, right? She, I can't really tell you too much about the movie, but she gets enormous powers. And of course, it's always that side of the coin where she mistakenly kills people by accident. It was a fucking accident. So now she's a bad person, and they're trying to stop her from doing all this damage and killing other people and all that kind of stuff. So it's a typical Marvel type story where, the Hulk's bad guy and the Avengers got to stop him, and he turns out to be a good guy, and it's the same old Marvel stuff. Back in the heyday of Marvel comics, good guy turns bad, we got to stop him or her or whatever. So yeah, it's a blah blah movie. Not bad, not good. If you like Marvel, it's okay. I like Marvel, but it's what do you want to call it? I've seen it before, somewhere, somehow. I've seen this before. So yeah, Professor X, roaming around in his wheelchair, flying around in those airplanes and couple of people in this movie have no intentions of coming back into an X-Men movie again. So you won't see them, but I'm not going to tell you who they are. Of course, you'll have to watch the movie to find that out. Now, I gave the X-Men Dark Phoenix a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's alright, but it does have its, I don't know, questionable moments. Alright, the other movie I watched is this one here. Of course, Jojo Rabbit. Now, this movie is very good. Yeah. I liked it. I had a great time watching this movie. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson's in it. This young boy, he has a friend. I guess you want to call him an invisible friend, because nobody else can see him. And it's Hitler, right? So this young guy's in the Hitler youth moment, right? But it's a serious movie, but a comedy at the same time, because there is funny parts to it, right? But then there's other serious parts also in it. So you have to watch it to enjoy it. I can't really tell you too much about this movie either, because I'll spoil it for you. So Scarlett Johansson plays a good part as the little boy's mother, right? And there's another young girl in it. She's hiding out in Scarlett Johansson, this young guy's house, right? She's hiding in the wall, right? And she comes out. But anyway, that's about it for me telling you what the movie's about. But I really enjoyed this movie, Jojo Rabbit 2019. I give it a big 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. Alright, and what else did I watch? Oh, I watched this movie. Now, this is the second time I watched this movie. I've seen this movie previously excuse me, with my brothers Donnie and Sammy, right, over at Sammy's place. We watched this movie over there. I think it was one Sunday or Saturday afternoon, a while ago now. This is probably a couple of months ago. Sammy's got a viewing place to watch this movie, so we went over there and watched the movie together. So that was enjoyable, watching movies with my brothers. Now, my brothers both gave this movie, I think they both gave it a 7. Donnie and Sammy, I'm pretty sure they gave it a 7. 7.5, something like that. But yeah, they enjoyed it too, but they didn't like one part in it that upset them. They didn't see that coming, and they weren't too crazy over it. But I can't tell you what that part is either. But so I just watched this movie this week, 2019, and it's a story about 2 young men have to go tell another squadron of men not to attack. The whole concept of this is they're runners. They have to go find another outfit to tell them not to attack, because it's all a trap. It's going to be a trap. If they go forward, they're going to get wiped out. Boom, it's over, right? So both these young boys, gentlemen, have to run. They have to go through no man's land, houses, wrecked houses, wrecked fields, wrecked everything, right? All kinds of things. Well, not all kinds of things, but a few of them try to stop them on the way to get to where they're supposed to go to, right? You gotta understand that? So, yeah, 1917. I thought it was a great movie. I liked it, right? But like I said earlier, there's one part in the movie that I really wasn't too crazy over it. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't prepared for that moment. So, obviously, if somebody's seen this movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if the other people or any other ones of you that have not seen it, and if you do watch it, you probably think, yeah, that's the part Bob's talking about that he doesn't like. So, a very good movie, based on a true story. A story was told to somebody, and they made it into a movie. It's a very excitable movie. I give it a 8. I give it an 8. I watched some good movies this week. An 8. 1917. I gave it an 8. All right. Now, I watched another movie on Rogers Crave TV, a movie called Yesterday. Yes, yesterday. Now, this young guy over in England, he has a guitar and he's singing and he's not getting far, right? He's playing the roller skating rinks and little, things outside and in tents and stuff. And he has a young manager, a girl, and he's not doing well, right? So, he's not doing well. Then one day, he's sitting outside down at the beach with his friends, and he plays a song, and they like it. They like it. They like that new song he wrote, right? Everybody likes that song. Yesterday, yeah, all my troubles seem so far away. Yeah, that one. And they think, oh, we love that song. We like it. And they go, well, you like that song? Yeah, who, the Beatles. And they go, who? And he says, the Beatles. John, George. John, George, Paul, Ringo, the Beatles. No, they don't know the Beatles. So he goes home and, of course, he goes on his computer and looks it up, and there's no Beatles other than Beatles, Beetles. And he hasn't, what the hell's going on here, right? So anyway, he starts singing Beatles songs, starts getting more people paying attention to him, and a lot of good songs in this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's a good romp movie, a great movie to watch, a good little ditty of a movie, a fun movie. Clap your hands, sing along, it's a great time. And what did I give that? I gave that an 8 too. Geez, I'm doing like an 8. I'm throwing 8s around left and right here. An 8 for yesterday. Yeah, Hamish Patel. I think Patel? I hope I said that right. I hate butchering people's names here, but I seem to do it all the time.
Most impressive. You underestimate the power of the dark side.
Yes, I do. Anyway, now here's one. Here's a movie. I've been waiting a while to watch this one, and I finally got around to watching it. There's a lot of movies that I want to watch. I just haven't got around to watch them, right? And it takes money. You know what money is? Yeah, money. And I'm an old guy. So yeah, bear with me, people. I don't know why anybody thinks I'm old just because I got gray hair and a beard. I look like I'm, 39? I've been told I look like 39, so I don't know whether they're lying to me or not.
What is thy
You're waiting to know what the movie is, right? Oh, sorry. What was that?
I am your father.
Oh, there you go. But I lie. I'm not your father. Imagine somebody telling you, I am your father. I am your father. Yeah, well, enough of the, what do you call it? Suspense. What did Bob watch? Oh, what's this? Took me long enough to get around to it, but I finally got around to this one. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now I understand what Jay's talking about all this time, for the last couple of months or whatever. Jay, buddy, I get you. I haven't watched it as many times as you have, but I understand. It's a great fucking movie. Oh. Rewind that, I didn't say that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Brad Pitt. Margot Robbie. This is a fantastic movie. Fun movie. Yeah, this movie, what's that word? It kind of moves along at a really good pace, right? I love this movie. I thought it was great. So, yeah, it's about a cowboy. He's a cowboy, right? What's his name? Cowboy. He's a cowboy actor in action TV shows and stuff like that, right? And Brad Pitt's his, his stunt double. And they seem to be having a great time in this movie. So the movie goes along in the beginning, and it's all fun and laughters and anything near I'd say near 3/4 of the way in, it kind of changes a bit. Things start changing a bit. So I liked it. You have to watch the movie, of course, to find out what I'm talking about. So I thought it was a great movie. I keep telling you. And what did I give that one? Wait for it. Wait for it, it's coming.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
I gave it a 9. 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10, yes. Great big 9. So if you haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with DiCaprio and Pitt, watch it. Jay recommends it. All right, let's move on. I watched another movie on TCM. I've seen this movie a few times over the years. So when it showed up in TCM, I said, I'm going to watch it again. All right, I'm going to give it another look. It's a fun movie. It's a black and white movie. From 1944, of course. Right? And it's called The Uninvited. Y'all know that movie, The Uninvited. It's a ghost story about a brother and sister who buy a seaside home that's haunted. It's haunted. It's a haunted freaking house, man. Yeah, even the dogs don't like it. The freaking dog runs away. He says, you know what he says? He says, I'm out of here. There goes the dog. Where'd the dog go? Nah, you don't like the house. You wonder why dogs are smart, eh? They're freaking smart. They don't like haunted houses, right? They think people, you humans, are stupid. I'm out of here, right? So he runs down the street, moves in with the doctor. I do the same thing. But anyway, Ray Milland, Ruth Hussey, yes, they're sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers? No, that's sister and brother. So they decide to buy this house, right? Sister falls in love with this house. It's got a nice fireplace. Anyway, there's one room that seems a little dank, stanky, and cold and whatever. So yeah, so things start happening at this house. A little bit of hollering and screaming and crying and stuff going on here, right? So yeah, it's haunted, all right, you know. Walk around with candles and the candles started getting blown out and stuff like this, right? And you start seeing kind of like lights and stuff, and they have a seance, you know, put your hand in the glass and it's all fun. So it's a great little movie. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Of course, it's from a novel, whereas most movies are from a novel. But there's one part in this movie that bothered me. Some nitpicking again, Bob? Yeah, maybe, yeah. But this Ray Milland character, what is he? You know, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. Maybe you're not going to know, but he's got to be at least, say, just for a roundabout, for the hell of it. He's got to be like 46 years old, okay? Now, he's known the guy that he bought this house for, right? He's got a granddaughter, of course, you know, got a granddaughter. She's 20. So she's 20 years old, and she has something to do with the house. And Ray Milland's like 46, give or take a year or two or whatever. Now, they've probably known each other in the movie, that it seems to be, a few days. Let's say, I don't know, let's say maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe. Because he's gone to the city. Ray Milland's character goes to the city and comes back. So there might be time involved there. But this Milland character is 46. He's starting to call this young girl that's 20, you know, darling and honey and whatever stuff. So I'm thinking, well, here we go again. Another movie that has an old guy. Let's say he's old. Of course, he's not old if you're 45. But he's kind of old if you're only 20, right? Our girl is 20 and he's 46. These movies kind of like, this type of movie or this type of, what do you want to call it, story, kind of puts a damper on things. Because sometimes, as old as I am, for some particular reason, I can't believe an old guy would fall in love with a 20-year-old, or I don't know, or vice versa. I don't know, but that's nitpicking, but I'll let it go. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10, The Uninvited, 1944. It's Bob thinking about things again. All right, The Man Who Wasn't There, which is this movie right here. First time I watched this, the Coen brothers, right? Billy Bob Thornton. There's a poor old sap. He's living in town, this little ditty smitty thing of a town. He's cutting hair in a barber shop, right? You know, snip, snip, snip. He's getting all the dirt and all the stories in the barber shop, like barbers do, right? They know everything. All right, so what happens? He turns around, gets a bright idea. He's going to turn around and try to get some money off somebody, right? That's doing a nasty with somebody's wife, right? She wants to blackmail him for $10,000 so he can give it to another guy to get in the dry cleaning business. Well, of course, if one thing goes bad, right, doesn't work out the way it should, what happens? It kind of like bad things turn out to be worse things, right? And one thing happens after another. So you go from one bad thing to another bad thing to another bad thing, and you're sitting there going, oh my God, right? Like, well, God's not going to help you, but the man who wasn't there, Billy Bob Thornton and Frances McDormand, right? And James, what's his name? James Gandolfini? Yeah. Oh, well, this is a very good story. Very interesting. First time I saw it. Never saw it before. I liked it. It's good, very, very well done. Black and white too. Kind of looked like a film noir. You know what I mean? The black and white movies. That's what it reminds me of. Probably it's based on that type of a movie, right? The black and white movies, film noir. That's how it was filmed. All right. And what else did I watch? Of course, I watched this movie right here, Mommie, Dearest. First time watching this. I don't even know if I saw bits and pieces over this movie for the last, I don't know, years. I never ever saw this movie before. But I liked it. I thought it was well done. I thought Faye Dunaway did a good version of Joan Crawford. Now, I don't know how many kids, or I don't remember how many kids Joan Crawford had in real life or adopted. I don't know if she adopted 3 or 4 of them. I don't know. I'll have to look more into that. But so in this movie, she adopts a little girl, of course, right? A little blonde girl, see? A little blonde girl, right? You know, she wrangled and dangled and got her lawyer to get her a little baby. Paid off people, whatever she did. Ends up with a little baby girl. Good, it's all good, right? And a little while later, probably when the girl's, would the girl be 5? I don't know, I can't remember. 5 years old, she adopts a little boy, right? Little blonde guy, a little guy, you know. He doesn't have too much to do in this movie other than walking around, right? The girl's got all the, mostly all the parts, the talking and stuff, the little girl. So, this little girl, right, is telling, is there in the house with her mother and the cleaning lady and the lady, Joan Crawford's secretary, right, that's been there for years, right? But it's all good. Everything's fine and dandy for 3/4 of the movie. Then you notice something. Did I notice it? Was I the only one that noticed it? Right? And the rest of the movie all has to do with the daughter. What happened to her son, the little boy that's younger than the daughter by 5 years? Every time you seen parts of the movie, he wasn't in it. He wasn't in it. Where the heck did he go? Did she ship him off someplace? They couldn't afford to pay the little kid anymore? Well, like, what happened to him? There was never a mention of him. When she goes home, she's home, but you never see the son, the little boy. He gets married, she gets married to this Pepsi Cola guy. Where's the little boy at? How come he's not out in the swimming pool with his new dad, right? So anyway, that bothered me a bit. I'm thinking, what happened to the little kid? What happened to her little son? Now, as far as I understand, a lot of people are saying this book's full of crap that she wrote, right? Christine, what is her name? Christina? Yeah. Whatever her name is. So a lot of this people are saying the book's full of crap. But I don't know whether it is or it's not. But sometimes, every once in a while, because a kid or a young person or somebody has memories, it doesn't always mean your brothers and sisters or somebody has the same memories that you have. And once in a while, even in one thing that she says is true, sometimes it is true. Sometimes kids have different memories than other kids or other siblings when you're younger. So I don't really know for sure or not, but I liked the movie, but like I said, 3/4 of it, her brother kind of disappears, and you don't see him until the end of the movie, right? He pops up at the end of the movie. But he was in the movie with her for 3/4 of it, And then he disappeared. Like, where the hell did he go? He was never in any of the scenes. You know, it's like, that's another thing about this movie that bothered me. What happened to the little brother? Where did he go? Where did he disappear? And like I said, she's older, right? The girl's older than the little boy. So when the girl comes back from where she was, or school, or whatever, like, what happened to her brother? Anyway, good movie. What did I give it? I gave it an 8, just because it's Joan Crawford and Faye Dunaway. I like the story, other than nitpicking. All right, people. Talk to you next week, and whatever you do, be safe, stay home, watch movies, read a good book. You know, so that's what you do, okay? I'll talk to you next Friday for What's Bob Watched This Week. All right, movie lovers.
You have learned much, young one. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Talk to you next week. Have a good week.